Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. This is the introductory video to the intensive 3 sittings in 1 day playlist. So each of these services that I have now up here, I think there are 4 playlists in total. You should have watched all the videos, the instructions. There is going to be an introduction video. I've already done the voiceover for that. I'm waiting to get this playlist uploaded, and then I'll finish that video, and that's going to be a video that's going to play when you open up this channel. It's the channel video. And I don't know the exact title now, but it'll be something like Introduction to Gratefullness Meditation Channel and Playlists. It's also like Gratefullness for Dummies, Sajmarg for Dummies, like an introductory 101 level explanation of the goals, the system, and things like this. Some of the stuff is going to be explained throughout these playlists, but it's important to every once in a while to go and watch the introduction videos to the playlists you're using, as it'll explain what's going on and what you're supposed to do. And also, as you do this more and more, and maybe you'll read some of the literature, definitely reading some of the Sajmarg books from Babaji and Charji, and I guess listening to some of the Journey series videos, you'll get more of an understanding as you experience these things and you change internally from the practice. And in each of these introduction videos, they're essential to watch before you do the sittings, because I want to spend the least amount of time talking before the sittings so I don't explain things. And so it's important to watch these videos. And if you forget something, watch them frequently or infrequently or whatever. All these instruction videos and videos that are informative and give an explanation of the system. And so in terms of this playlist, the intensive playlist, this is 3 sittings, intensive cleaning sittings, that are given in 1 day. So the first sitting you should do as early as possible in the morning. The next one should be done in the afternoon after lunch sometime before dinner. And then the third one at night. You want to space the sittings out as best you can, whatever it is, 5-6 hours apart, given your schedule and whatever's going on. And this is not for everyday use or even necessarily frequent use. It's very specific to if you need a sort of a boost in your practice, you're feeling lots of restlessness and discomfort and you have trouble meditating for long periods of time, you're struggling internally, going through something that's really hard to go through in your life, and you're just, you're maybe in a state of, some kind of difficult emotional state or something, grief, loss of loved ones, things like this. So this is to help people go through the difficult times and get a deeper experience of the practice. And so in the Massachusetts center that I started in years and years ago, so I spent 2 years in the Sajmarg center it was called, I guess, Greenfield Center at first, and then the Sunderland, they built a meditation building. And I started there, then I was made a preceptor, and I moved to New Mexico, then traveled and lived in Idaho for a while, then went to graduate school, got married, and came back as a preceptor. And a lot of the preceptors and people that were there were 6 preceptors, and one of them quit, and a few other the people left and moved to other parts of the country. It was interesting transformation of that center. But someone came up with the idea to do an intensive. I don't know if it came from Master Charji. He gave permission to do it, I know that. But I'm not sure exactly how it came to pass. But the idea was to have 3 sittings on 1 day over a Saturday. And so the first attempt at this was a gathering. People came to the meditation center, and they came from, New York and New Jersey, surrounding areas, other places in Massachusetts, in the northeastern part. And there was probably about 40 to 45, 50, I don't know. It was an even number of preceptors. And the preceptors were paired up. You got a sitting from one preceptor, and then you would give a sitting to another preceptor. So we gave we received a sitting and we gave a sitting in the morning, then we received a sitting and gave a sitting in the afternoon, and then we received a sitting and gave a sitting at sometime around 7, 8 o'clock at night, and it was one of the best things that I had experienced. There was the time I was made a preceptor where I got 8 sittings from 3 of them were for Master Chargy and 5 of them from senior preceptors, and by the time I was done, especially that last cleaning with Master Chargy was rough to go through. I talked about that in the past. And I felt like there was nothing there. There was no grossness. There was no solidity. I mean, it was just, I was completely light inside. And it was so easy to meditate. Like it was just, I would just fall into meditation. It was just right there. There was no barrier. I was, thought free. I mean, it lasted for a number of days. And then this intensive did the same thing. And Mr. B, who was, I had some issues with him because of his personality, but he was a great preceptor, and he gave me the sittings. There's some conflict there. In the first sitting, my nose was running and I was restless. It was miserable. And, I said that, and he said, yeah, that was a rough sitting. And then the third sitting, I said, wow, there was I feel like there's nothing there. And he said, yeah, the cleaning went as deep as it could go, like as far as the cleaning could reach at that particular time in my life. There's some scars that needed to come out later that I need to experience, things like that, right? And so that was amazing. And then we did this intensive again where we just acted as preceptors, and we gave 2 sittings to 2 different people in the morning, the afternoon, and then at nighttime. And I could see the miraculous effect of having that intense level of cleaning and, the things that people experienced. And so I asked about this. It was never done again. I asked Mr. B about it. He was like, he blew me off. It was kind of I said, remember we did that intensive clean? I saw him at some gathering. I said, that was wonderful. We're going to do that again. Because lots of people come in and they just don't get the proper amount of cleaning in the beginning, or it just takes them a long time or whatever. They're grosser or whatever it might be. There's good stuff going on in their life. I mean, they don't have that experiential, wow, that was amazing, and really see the difference. I mean, it's such the depth of the cleaning. And I've had a number of experiences like this where I've reached that level where I just don't feel anything, like anything material. Like it's just, I feel like a pure spirit. It's happened to me, I don't know, 10 times maybe in the system. And those times are really great boosts, and they remind you how great the system is. And sometimes you really need it. I went through that divorce, and the stuff was happening in India, and I went through that deep cleaning, and I was getting 3 satsans every day, and I was getting 2 or 3 individual sittings. I just, I needed them, and it took me a while, some weeks, maybe a month or 2 of the intense practice, and I was doing my own meditation. I mean, I was meditating like 5-6 hours a day, right? And then, all the other things. And, I was starting to do these videos, and that was very gross. In the beginning, it was tough for me to dive into the Hollywood, all the grossness and material life that's in the Hollywood political, the show, I call it, right? So that's what these sittings are for. They're not really for experiment. If you feel good, it's not, it's not just so I want to try this. It's like when you really need it, it's there. And then it's, there's such a contrast to how you feel if you're restless or going through something. And when you, do the 3 sittings in one day, it's a real barometer for the effects of this system. And so I've already given the first sitting today. I'll do the next one. It's going to eat lunch pretty soon. Then do that, the second one. And I'll do the third one in the evening. It's the 4th of July today. Coincidentally, just figured it was the best day for me to do this. Hot outside. And again, this isn't to be misused. It isn't for I'll take 1 sitting today and 1 sitting tomorrow and 1 next week. It's designed for a certain purpose. Each sitting is like a, building on something, right? And these are how all these things are. They're supposed to go in the order that they're supposed to go in. And you're not supposed to do them all 3 at once. Just because it's on a playlist doesn't mean that you're going to let them play through, because it's not what it's for. And you can separate the video out in case you get absorbed. Like if you go into a deep samadhi-like state and you can't get out, and the second video starts playing, the sitting won't even happen then. But you can separate the video out. You don't have to view it in the playlist. The playlist is there only for organizational purposes. So you can find the videos, you can watch the introduction, and you can do the rest of it. It's important to know this is a spiritual discipline, and it's just like you can't make things up and mix and match things and do other practices and whatever. Like it's something that you have to do it the way it's prescribed or it doesn't work. It's part of his being obedient to the system, being disciplined in the system. That's like a big portion of its success. That you don't have to buy into it right away, but at least do it the way it's told, and do the you follow the recipe, and then the results will be the desire of the recipe. You start adding your own things and think you know more or whatever, which people have done in the past, and then they say it doesn't work. Well, it's because you've screwed it up in some way, right? You've done it in a way that you weren't supposed to, and then you're wondering why it doesn't work. And so, that's just whatever. Something I need to say. I should say that again in the introduction video when I put it up on the channel. Okay, so that's all for now, and the first sitting is there, and I'll do the other two, and this will be a complete playlist by the time you see this video. And again, it's 3 different sittings in morning, afternoon, and nighttime, and to be done on a single day. Only spirituality will save this world. This is Paul Romano, definitely reporting from the Apocalaughs and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.